Excuse me. Whoops. Whoops. Let's do that again. Hey, Ron's Cards. Thanks for following me on Twitter. I'll give you a follow back. Alright. You guys know the drill. I'm just getting a little set up here. Okay, where am I? What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I was going to send a tweet out. And I need to make a note before we start. I'm going to make a quick note of some trade authorizations that I have. Oh, that's right here. So, we have a couple people looking specifically for Yankees and Yankees, and what was the other one? Oh, Mariners. Obviously, Mariners. Okay. If you guys can't hear me, it's because I'm not sitting close. Okay, Nick V. Nick V will trade anything for the Mariners. And then Sean C will try to be watching, but he's looking for the Yankees. Okay. Holy cow. Pro tip, do not scarf down a pot pie right before having to talk for an hour. Okay, there's my note about that. And bring over the mouse and keyboard and we'll get started. Oh, I need to pull up my chat too. Whoops. There we are. Let's go browser. We can show the chat. Alrighty. And let me grab. We still have to randomize, so don't get excited. This is not randomized yet. You may notice in this list we have Expos. Excuse me. We have Expos in the list, and we do not have Nationals. It's because we're time traveling to 1995, of course. And I made a little cheat sheet of what we're looking for that you can't see on screen, but let me change that so you can see it. Here are the top, at least in terms of value, dollar value, like resale dollar value. Here are the top people we're looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Wow. Should have brought some water in here. Okay, so that's, it looks like it's cut off, but that's all the names. Hey, Sean. I made it too. It was tight. I almost didn't make it. So I made a little cheat sheet here of the, in order of at least Beckett value. Griffey and Hideo Nomo, the Hideo Nomo rookie, those are both, at least for the base cards, they're both about $10 a piece. Not that you'll get that on FeeBay or anything, but anyway, These are the kind of things that we're looking for, and we're looking for refractors of those, etc. And I need to randomize this list now. So we'll do that. And then we'll get started. I am trying to enjoy some wife time tonight, so I'm going to be kind of quick going through these. I'll take a minute when we start to just kind of show them off. And then after that, I'll go kind of quickly, so try to keep up, is what I'm saying. We can randomize while we're waiting for some people to show up. Multi-round, blah, blah, blah. That's what I want. Looks like you guys can see what I'm seeing. I'll make it a little bigger when we get to the page. Here, let's make that a little bit easier so you can see everything. CW74 spot random. Hey, I want to do a quick kind of poll while I'm doing this, and I'll look at your answers when I'm done randomizing. Do you guys care? Does it make any difference when I roll the dice if I do 2d6 or 3d6? Just curious if you think it adds more credibility, seems more random, anything like that. Just feels better in general to do one way versus the other. There's no wrong answer, just curious. Kind of the same question about randomizing teams. I decided a little bit ago we're rolling 6 times here. I decided a little bit ago to not randomize the actual team names anymore because I'm already randomizing the spots and I felt like it was adequate. I'm curious if anyone has any differing opinions, if you agree, whatever. Got 2 left. Good luck, everyone. All right, here's our names. I'm going to go through these. I'm going to scroll down like one jump at a time. So if you want to pause the video or whatever, you can see the order. And our code at the bottom here is CMCUPT. CMCUPT. Okay, so let's grab these names. And I'll just leave that open. It won't hurt. It's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. There we go. All right. I imagine that I'm going to lose some viewers too. Is Ben live right now, Sean? Do you know? If he is, I'm sure everyone's watching. He's got 8,000 breaks tonight. 8,000. Give or take 7,975. Okay, let's save that. Let's do a quick check. I'm not going to read through all of them, but the Yankees right now are with Don. Hey, Don, you're here. Awesome. So, Don, you have the Yankees. And is that Nick V? Who's that? Hold on. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'll look on my phone real quick. I just want to get this right, so let me make sure I'm looking at the right thing here. Here we go. Yes, Nick V. I should have written a V there. So Nick V is looking for the Yankees. Don, you have the Yankees. I don't know if you want any of the teams that Nick has. He has Red Sox. I think he only has the Red Sox. So if you want to trade Red Sox for Yankees, Don, that's on the table. Nick has authorized me to do that on his behalf, even though he's not here. Doesn't look like he's here anyway. And then, Sean, you had a request too, so... Oh, no. Sorry, Nick wanted the M's. Sean, you wanted the Yankees. So you guys work that out if you want to figure out a trade. Twins, Mets, or Cardinals. Let's see. And Nick wanted M's. Who has the Mariners? Jen has Mariners. So, Jen, if you're here, Red Sox for Mariners? Nick would like to know. Yeah, Sean, I wrote it down in front of me, and then I completely didn't look at my notes. You're absolutely right. He wants the Mariners. I don't even remember. Who does Hideo Nomo, who did he rookie for? I don't remember. I mean, if we pull one, we'll figure it out. Well, here's the deal. 3 for 1. So it sounds like you're offering Twins, Mets, and Cardinals for the Yankees. I'm going to start pulling out the packs while you guys talk it over. So I'll tell you something too. I have 2 more boxes of this. This is this can be a hit or miss break. Isn't Jeter is not the big pull in this, but he's one of them. If you look at the list, look underneath everyone's names in the spot list, you'll see down here, you'll see I put them in order of Beckett pricing value, which doesn't mean a ton, but it's just something to look at. Anyway, I do have 2 more boxes of this. It can be hit or miss. It's older product, but it's Topps finest, so it's still really cool. There's still a lot of cool stuff that you can get out of this. Some people are used to getting an auto in every other break, and so if you guys like this product, I have 2 more boxes, and we'll put together another break tonight. I mean, it probably won't break tonight, but we'll get it live. If you don't like it, let me know that too. I'd like to know. I can always do something else with these boxes, do personal box or something like that. So, yeah, his rookie is not in this. This is 1995. So it's just a couple years off. Jeter's still a decent pull out of this, but it's not the pull. Chris, we pulled the Padres out of the random? Awesome. You did buy like a handful of spots. That helps. Dawn, sorry, let me tell you. Unless someone else gets to it first. You have the Angels. You got bookends, Dawn. You got the top of the list and the bottom of the list. Angels and Yankees. Not too bad. I don't even remember who was in the Angels in 95. I think we had Vlad Sr. Was that... He might have been in 95. I don't remember. Thanks, Sean. So, I said I was going to start opening these, and then I didn't. Let's start opening them. Let's get some sleeves over here, too. If we pull a hit out of here, I think we're going to want to not jam it face first into a small sleeve. We'll get the 75s out. And let me move these packages because you can't see people's addresses, but privacy is important to me. I don't want one to fall over in a live video. I don't know how much people would care, but that's not for me to say. Anyway, yeah, Nick is looking for Mariners. I don't think Jen is here, Nick. So that might be a hard trade to facilitate. Is it the same? It's the same card glued to the front. So this card here is glued to the front of each box. So even if it was, I mean, they wouldn't put like the best card in the box on there. But even if they did, it wouldn't be worth much. And then I scratched across anyway, but it does have the stuff on it. So some of the cards I've come across, I opened up a couple boxes for myself. Some of them look like they have a little bit of rubbing on the surface. So if you're going to send one in for grading, you might still want to peel off. But if it doesn't look like it has any rubbing, see, I don't know if you can tell the difference. Anyway, If it doesn't look like it has any rubbing, it's preferred to keep the peel on. All right, cool. So let's dive in. I do like when some of the card companies put this stuff in there. I need to move something so I can actually see what you guys see. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I can't really see everything. Let's move this back. Okay. Make sure everything's on the camera. Anyway, I like when they throw these in there because when I'm sending something like well, any card that I want to protect, like especially the oversized cards, those are really helpful. This is I don't believe this really specified a Series 1 or 2. This is just 95 finest. I don't remember if there was specific Series 1 or 2 in that. But I will tell you, out of this case, I opened, like I said, I opened 2 boxes for myself. And I did pull a Ken Griffey Jr. Not the refractor, sadly. Or maybe that's good news, because if there's a, you know, if they're kind of rare, maybe we'll pull it during one of these breaks for you guys. I have too much stuff to send out to get graded anyway. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure about series. I haven't seen anything about series, but I believe it's all just one series. I didn't think there was a Series 1 or 2. I could be wrong. I'm no expert on it. Here's the pack odds. So the odds of a flamethrower card is 1 in 48. And I got one out of my last 2 boxes. There's 24 packs in a box, so we should probably get one out of these 2. Power Kings is 1 in 24. We should probably see a couple of those. And then the finest refractors are 1 in 12. There will be 2 per box. So, and that's what we're really looking for, is those finest refractor cards. Hopefully a good name. I did not get great names on my refractors. Oh, also, this is going to have to happen quite a bit through this break, because these old packs are thick foil. All right, good luck, everyone. Like I said at the onset of the video, in case you missed it, I'm going to go through the first one a little bit slow so you can see the cards, and then I'm going to kind of rip through them fairly quickly. I'll look up at chat every now and then, so if I'm going too fast, let me know. If I miss something you want me to go back, let me know. Names are kind of hard to read through the foil, but not impossible. Anyway, Randy Johnson, there's what the front looks like. It has the protective film, which was popular with, I think, Bowman's Best as well in the late 90s. Once these chrome cards started coming out, they realized it helps to put the film on them. And in later years, I think that was part of the manufacturing process, and they didn't really have to. They have a coating. But in the earlier chrome cards like these, it's kind of necessary. Ryan Thompson. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of names that you might not recognize unless it's through memory from collecting 25 years ago. Paul O'Neill, Tommy Green, Darren Fletcher. And I went through, out of my 2 boxes, I went through all the cards and kind of separated them. Anything that's worth like $1 or more versus the ones that are not. Just to kind of get a feel for it. And I would say it was almost half and half. And then there were several, I had several that were like Barry Bonds and stuff like that. There's a refractor right there. I'm saving it in the back. Some of these do, like this is 2 cards. They almost stick together, but not really. They just don't slide apart easily, so they're easy to separate. Brett Saberhagen. And that one's got 2 together. And this actually, so I want to show you something. This happens a lot. You'll get 2 that are kind of stuck together a little bit. They're not really stuck together. The surface is fine on these. Although this one's not. That one's got a little crimp in it. I didn't see that on any others. Anyway, normally when they're kind of stuck together like that, they're fine. But you'll see that in a lot. A pack will have 2 of the exact same card stuck right together. Ray Langford. And then there's Kevin Seitzer. And here's our refractor. It actually has a line right where my thumbnail is there. Can kind of make it out on the video. I don't think that line is supposed to be there. That might be a manufacturing defect. So I didn't see any of that in mine. This is Mark Witten. And I don't know what all the refractors are worth, except the Griffey Jr. in, well, this went in grade high anyway, but centering's way off. Griffey Jr. would go for around $100, I think. And I'll sleeve the refractors and inserts from this stuff. And sorry, that is, it's kind of hard to read these. Cardinals. That's what it looked like. So that's the Cardinals. That's for you, Sean. So there's our first refractor already. Some of these packs will open without too much force or fight. Some just don't. And I am looking at all the names because we're looking for, even besides the, there's Larry Walker. Even besides the refractors, we're still looking for some decent names in the base. Ray Sanchez. Make sure, I don't think I had a, I think I looked at all the names on these. I said I was going to go quickly and taking my sweet time here. Randy Johnson was good. We'll set that one aside. Ryan Thompson, Travis Fryman, Nagy, Paul O'Neill is okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't miss any there. Randy Johnson is decent. A little bit of rubbing on the protective coating. Not too bad. Randy, I don't think was in the top list here. I pulled a Mattingly too. So out of my boxes, I didn't get a Hideo Nomo, but I got a Mattingly, I got a Bonds, and I got a Griffey, and I don't remember if I got a Jeter. Trot Nixon, Bobby Munoz, Kenny Rogers. I always remember that from when I was collecting back in the day. Mark Langston, Dante Bichette, and John Franco. John Franco's bottom left corner has a little ding on it. It's the unfortunate thing. Sometimes you'll get that. Sometimes you have boxes that take a little bit of a beating over the years. I don't think these did. These were inside the case still. It was a sealed case when it came to me. Chuck Knobloch. God, I can't read that. Rob Nen. Manny Ramirez. Rafi Palmeiro. And who's this? Eric Karros. Will Clark. Brady Anderson. So we're one refractor in. So on the other side of the spectrum, from these weren't super cheap, but they're kind of on the cheaper side as far as boxes go. On the other side of the spectrum, what would you guys be into a transcendent break? at like 150 a spot. See, there's again 2 stuck together. It's not a bad one to get duplicates. Kirby Puckett. If someone offered you 150 a spot for the 2020 Hall of Fame edition of Ruben Sierra of Transcendent, would you do it? Roger Clemens, Walt Weiss, Cal Ripken. So Cal is third on our list. I think that's like an $8 card for the Orioles. So who has the Orioles right now? I'm not going to call out every card, but that was a decent one to get. Kristen has the Orioles. Yeah, I kind of feel the same, Chris. I've bought into Transcendent Breaks before, but the Hall of Fame one just looks delicious. I would absolutely want to be in that if I could find the budget for it. There's a lot of this doubles. Thankfully, Topps has kind of fixed that, although Phil Hughes posted I think it was Phil? Someone posted a picture. They opened a case of something that was just so many duplicate autos, and it was kind of obscene. Jim Thome, Scott Cooper, Matt Williams. So I ask because the idea was being tossed around, and not for me to do one. I would be buying in probably if it happened, but I'm just curious. I'm gonna throw it out there, throw some feelers. I tried doing a really expensive hit break before, and I just didn't have the audience for it at all, and so it didn't fill. There were 10 spots. I ate 6 of them. Joey Hamilton duplicates. Well, we're probably going to get a lot of that. So, just for kicks though, there's supposed to be 7 cards. This has 7. So your duplicate is one of those 7. That's kind of horrible. Unless it's, a Griffey or Jeter or something. Reggie Sanders, John Burkett. Is there upside down John Jaha? There's Griffey. Not the refractor, but it's a Griffey. So this is the top card. This and Hideo Nomo, but this is the one that people chase. So that's good. We already saw our first Griffey. That's nice. Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. Like, if I could afford it, I might want a couple. The Transcendent has some really incredible stuff, and the Hall of Fame edition is just going to be insane. Insane. We got another card with a bump on the corner. Juan Gonzalez. That's unfortunate. Let's go front to back like it was. Terry Steinberg. Rob Hamlin. Yeah, Hamlin. I'm having a hard time sometimes remembering some of the names. There's a Rafael Palmeiro. That's actually really nice. Surface is perfect. Some of these, like I said, they'll have a little bit of a sign of rubbing on the surface. What was I just fighting with? These two. Bernie Williams, and behind it was Tim Naring. And some of these names I just don't remember. Oh, come on, pack. Hopefully we don't have to fight with too many of these packs. Some of them just want to give us some trouble, though. Try and open them delicately. We have our second refractor in this one. You can kind of see it there, standing out on the left. Josh Burkett. Who do you guys think the next refractor is? Look at that duplicate Josh Burkett, which has tops to send us 48 random cards to make up for duplicates. Although duplicates aren't horrible. Jody Reed. Not the refractor I was hoping for. But that's alright. We'll sleeve it up anyway. Jody. I love that back in the day when they had their turtlenecks. That's a Brewers card. So that's Chris E. It's Chris E's refractor. And then we have a few more cards I didn't show you yet. Kenny Lofton. That name I remember quite a bit from the past. Chris Hoyles. And Chuck Carr. Yeah, Chuck Carr. It's kind of amazing the cycle of player regurgitation that kind of happens where some of these guys don't even get remembered. Some of these guys maybe only played a year, or they played longer, but they just don't get remembered very well. Steve Finley, ×2. Man, are we going to have that every single pack? It's possible. Rene Arocha. Deion Sanders. Excuse me. Mike McFarlane. Remember that name. Alex Fernandez. I used to always get Alex Fernandez and Alex Rodriguez confused when I was younger. Marquis Grissom. All right, nothing too crazy there. I did add last night, I'm sure some of you guys know about this already, I added 4 new breaks to the site. If you guys like these, we'll add another. I'll put the other break up and see how it goes. Sammy Sosa, a little bit of injury. He's on the injured list. On the bottom left corner of that one. Dave Rollins. That's what I thought. Okay. Mike Stanley. Robin Ventura. Walt Weiss. That's a name that I saw a lot collecting in the past. And then just stopped seeing it. Jeff Bagwell, too. Jeff Bagwell and Walt Weiss, I think I collected a lot of their cards when I was younger. I don't remember why I liked their cards in particular, but who's Finley? I didn't even look at what team that is. I mean, if someone puts in trade notes that Finley's Padres, yep, I should have known. If who has Padres? Jen, did we say? Oh no, you have Padres. You get all the Finleys. You had me confused for a second there. Tim Raines. Kristen might want that. There's 2 of those. Alan Watson. Lou Whitaker. I guess I have to go through these a little slower than I thought to see all the names. Curtis. Scott Cooper. Len Dykstra. There's another name that I completely fell off my radar until I was opening these the other day. Definitely not going to be done by 7. Try and speed it up a little bit so we can not go over too much. Rusty Greer. We've got Kevin Foster, Jack McDowell. There's a name that still sticks out. Wilson Alvarez, Chris Hoyles, Tim Salmon, another name that sticks out. We already have 2 refractors out of this box, so now we're just looking for inserts and any other good base. And then on to the second box. Canseco. I don't think I remembered seeing one of those out of the first box. McFarlane, Seal, Langford, Vaughn, Luis Gonzalez. I used to love watching him play in Arizona. Yeah, so Chris, you're going to get several Finleys. There's our first insert. So we got Hoyles, McGuire. McGuire's decent. He's actually, I'm going to sleeve him up. Just because he's in the top 7 that I laid out, I'll sleeve him up. Might have to pull out more sleeves. Cool. That's an Athletics McGuire for Jason S. Show our insert in a second. Ricky Henderson. Will Cordero. Mark Grace. And Cecil Fielder. Power Kings. Finest Power Kings. Cecil Fielder. That is Detroit, Cecil Fielder. So who has Tigers? Gordo has the Tigers. Well, that reminds me. He won that spot in a mini, and he hasn't paid for it yet. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have run it or whatever if I was worried about it. That is one thing about our Discord break club is I pretty much trust everyone in there. I'm not gonna run stuff without, like, as a principle without people paying, but I don't want to hold stuff up all the time either. Tony Phillips, Brian McRae, I forgot about that one. Geronimo Pena, I also forgot about that guy. Andy Van Slyke, Danny Tartable, Bobby Ayala. We're running low on packs. Who do you think the next insert will be? There's Lee Smith and probably another Lee Smith. Yep, called it. Carr, Kirby Puckett, Upside Down Crook, Dunston. Forgot about Dunston too. Mike Greenwell. Wouldn't that be a trip if Sean Dunston was somehow miraculously watching my YouTube video? I was like, how are you going to say you forgot about me, man? That's rude. I'd be apologizing left and right. I feel so bad. Zeal. I always liked Todd Zeal just because his name sounded cool to me when I was younger. Jim Edmonds. It was easier to collect when you were younger. Like just the simplest things, like the guy's last name, was enough. Pretty good, Jeff. How are you? We got Tony Phillips, Tony Gwynn, Jeff Kent, and Jeff Conine. A couple of Tonys, a couple of Jeffs, right back to back. Speaking of Jeffs, Jeff, who do you have in this? You have, you're just showing up, it looks like Giants and Pirates. And is that it? It might be it. I'm looking at a very tiny list at a glance, so forgive me if I miss any. Brian McRae with probably Brian McRae. Yep. Guzman, Perez, Gagne, Cole, and Morris. Morris has a little line, hopefully just in the protective coating. So for anyone who is just showing up, we're kind of trying to go through them quickly. We're looking for, if you look under the list of everyone's names, there's a list of 7. They're basically the top 7 the top 7 names you want to pull from this. Martinez. Is that Martinez? Yeah. And then, of course, we're looking for the refractors, too. Cone, McRae. So we're kind of just going through quickly looking for those names. Nilsson, Finley, Cecil Fielder. These things are still kind of shiny, so it throws me off that none of them are refractors because I catch a little glare off one. And I'm like, is there a refractor in there? And then I remember, nope. There's only the 2 in the box, and they're in the middle of the pack. It's not going to be on the front. Jeff Kent, Ken Ciamini. I totally messed up his name there. Doesn't matter. Fryman, Oliva. Who do we have? Alan Trammell. I think that's whose autographed bat I have behind me. Eddie Williams, Steve Avery. Steve Avery's another one that comes back to my memories. These, so I had really stopped collecting by 95, so I didn't get to enjoy these cards back then. They were probably a lot cheaper too. But I remember a ton of these names from when I was collecting in the late 80s. Mountain. Craig Biggio. Otis Nixon. Forgot about that one. Mike Bordick. Biggio again, doubling up in this pack. And who's that? Bobby Munoz. And the last pack in box 1, which I'm sure you're sighing a sigh of relief so that we can get to more refractors. Eddie Williams, Jose Valentin. Let me know if you guys can't see the names, if I'm going too fast. And, you know, my accountability is important. I want to make sure that you guys have full trust in me. And even if you do, that it's obvious who the names are. And there's a Randy Johnson, Roberto Alomar. So, yeah, Randy Johnson. That's a Mariners Randy Johnson. 2 of those already for the Mariners. All right, there goes box 1. Just to get a feel for it, here's how we did in box 1. Cards that were notable enough to at least sleeve up. 2 Randy Johnsons and a Cal Ripken. That Ripken's pretty good. And then we got a McGuire. And actually, I want to hard sleeve these. We'll do that real quick. There's 1 Randy. Randy times 2. Cal Ripken. Yeah, I like these 75 points better because you don't have to squeeze cards in them. Okay, and then we had a McGuire base. We had a Ken Griffey Jr. base. That's the best base so far. And will be. Then in our refractors, we had Jody Reed, Mark Whitten, and then we had 1 Power Kings, and we had no flamethrowers. So we'll probably have a flamethrower coming up. We should have another Power King, and we will have 2 more refractors. Let me get some more. Oh, they're right here. Shouldn't have put them on a high shelf. I wouldn't even have to stand up. What do you guys think so far? Feel free to say you're disappointed if you're disappointed, or you love them. Say that too. I want to get a good feel so that when I buy stuff, I'm buying the right stuff. I don't ever want to, you know, end up with a lot of stuff that nobody wants. My feelings won't get hurt. My wallet will. Because, let's be honest, what'll happen there is I'll get bored one night and open them all up. And then I've just, you know, spent all my money on that. And I don't want to do that. I want to be able to break stuff that people like. So. I imagine Ben's sitting in front of his camera, quietly looking at his phone right now. I think he's going on at 7. That's usually the way that goes. Empty box. Okay. Let's dive right in. I'm going to flip these over though. Let's dive right in and find some Griffies and Griffey refractors. I really want to see a Hideo Nomo card too. Even though that's not really the top one that everyone wants. I'd like to see one. Whew. Ruben Sierra, first card out of this box. 2 of those. Lieberthal, Crook. We've got Larry Walker. Someone in our group just said they're a hardcore Larry Walker fan. So if you're in Discord, search for Larry Walker and find out who that is. Who is this? Expos? Who has Expos? Chris E. So Chris E, if you're watching this later, find out who has Expos. He might want that card. Jose Rijo. All right. That's it for those. I'm going to put this stack where I'm not going to bump it. There we go. These cards they've got some weight to them, just like the 2017 Topps High Tech. And I tried to buy more of that last night. It's sold out. I couldn't get any. I love those. I think everyone else generally liked them too. There's Beck, Rod Beck, John Crook. We have this upside down guy, which is Frank Thomas. And our refractor is Len Dykstra. And then in the back we've got Alan Trammell, Brett Boone, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball. So we'll sleeve up Mattingly. There's our Yankees Mattingly we were looking for. That's not horrible. I think it's like an $8 card or something. I mean, if you want to... I know some breakers don't talk about like how much a card might sell for. But in this break, it's kind of... You're kind of looking for the value, the dollar value on it a little bit. Don Mattingly. Not very well centered. You guys are quiet tonight. Is anyone trying to watch 2 breaks at once? I've done that a few times. Donnie for the Yankees. Don for Don. There will be multiples of stuff, so if you couldn't work out a trade and you want to share some of your cards with someone, I'm not going to pressure anyone into doing that. But if you wanted to have more unique cards, there's Ricky Henderson, and not have a lot of duplicates, you might work out like send all my duplicates to so-and-so and then they're sending me all their duplicates type of situation. Just a thought. It doesn't make it easier for me at all. It's not that much harder though. But it's a good way to help share some cards with someone who might want them for their PC. Palmeiro. Oh, foils coming up on the corner there. But that's okay because they sent us 2. Juan Gonzalez. Oh, Wango. Royce Clayton. Behind him you have Eduardo Perez, John Olerud, and Kevin Appier. So, as always, if you want to do anything interesting with your cards, one thing I noticed, some of these, if it felt a little looser, it had like a refractor or something in it. I didn't have a lot of them to go by, but But yeah, if you want to do anything like that in Discord, put in the shipping notes. The CW shipping notes channel. All right, Eckersley, Bordick, Andre Galarraga, Ray Lankford, Tony Gwynn, Galarraga again, Ben McDonald. Ben McDonald I thought was going to be a big deal. Back in like, what was that, 1990, I think? 89 or 90? I forget what his rookie year is. Say? Oh, maybe it wasn't. It only lists 94 on there, so maybe 94 is what I'm thinking of. Here's another Finley. Kenny Rogers. We've got Merced. Bordick. Pena. Sometimes it's easier to look at the back. Jason Bear. John Wetland. I know there's not a ton of people watching, but I'm curious if chat's not working at all. I'll figure that out later. If, you know, if it's not working, I don't think there's a ton I can do about it right now. Alan Trammell. And behind him, Alan Trammell. Javi Lopez. Wilson Alvarez. We've got Pedro Martinez. Doug Drabeck. David Cohn. So there are still some pretty decent names in this. Some names that are still very recognizable these days, which is nice. And they're younger cards of those guys too, so that helps. I don't think we have a refractor in here. What's behind? What are you hiding, Alan? There we go. Nope. Joe Carter, Larry Walker again, Don Slott, Alan Trammell. Don Slott's another name that sticks out. Aaron Bell. Aaron Seal. My bad. Todd Hundley. Paul Moulter. It's a really perfect Paul Moulter. Well, in front. The back looks a little off center. Thanks, Chris. Sometimes I don't know, like, I know a lot of times there might not be a ton of people watching. Especially when we fill a break, you know, without a set schedule up front. And kind of play it by ear a little. So it's I never really know, is like chat broken or there's just not a lot interesting going on. Dave Nelson. There's another one that is a little crunched. I wonder if that happened a lot with these. The card doesn't look bent. The back of the card is smooth. So I think it's like a manufacturing process that did that. Interesting. Roberto Alomar, Chad Curtis. Ozzie Smith. That might be our first Ozzie Smith. Malvon. And then we've got Brian Harvey. So what have we not hit? Nomo. We haven't hit Nomo. I didn't hit a Nomo in my two boxes either. Bonds and Jeter. We're looking for Nomo, Bonds, and Jeter. Hopefully one of them is this refractor. Let's do that refractor last. So we've got Barry Larkin, Cal Eldred. Every once in a while there's a card that has like a glue feeling something on the back. I don't know what that is, like glue from the manufacturing. Oh, we got a couple of cards in this one. So, Perez again. Oh, and one more base, which is Jack McDowell. And then we have a flamethrower, John Wetland flamethrower, and Brian Harvey. Brian Harvey's our refractor. So we've got if I'm not mistaken, we've got one more refractor coming out. And then that'll be it for the refractors. One thing that I noticed, and I hope like PSA notices this, I think so. On the front, for what normal cards would be the bottom here, the bigger gap is actually centered when it's a bigger gap on top. Because if you look at the back, oh, that's actually made me a liar. That one's a little bit off, but anyway. Some of them, they look perfectly centered on the back when it's like that. Anyway, that is Brian Harvey for the Marlins. So that's for Pets, Scott Petzold. And then the Expos, which is going to be Chris, gets the flamethrower. You can hear minstrel music in the background. My wife's watching. She watches a lot of those like king and queen kind of period shows. So that's what's going on in the living room, which isn't too far from my office. Tony Gwynn on top. Tony Gwynn, another Tony Gwynn. Steve Trashel. It is time for something special, right? I hope so. Robin Ventura. We got a Bobby Bonilla right behind Jim Abbott. And then Tino Martinez. A Mariners Tino Martinez. We do have, Jeff, we have one more refractor that we're looking for. And I believe we're looking for another Power Kings. Geronimo Pena ×2. Eddie Murray. Dave Nielsen. Charles Delgado. Or Carlos Delgado, sorry. Will Clark. Jody Reed. I think Jody Reed was what our first refractor was. The refractors are really cool looking. It'd be a whole lot cooler if it was a Ken Griffey Jr. Or Derek Jeter would be good too. Be a whole lot more collectible, I think. Chili Davis, Pedro Martinez, Dean Palmer, Mike McFarlane. Then we have Devon White, Chuck Finley, Don Slott. These aren't super exciting. They are really nice cards, though. So even if you end up with a bunch of base, all the base cards are pretty nice. These were pretty high end back in the day. They were much higher end than they would be considered today. Like Finest is still pretty good today. Sorry. So we had Ozzie Smith, Otis Nixon, Tim Naring, Lance Johnson, Joe Carter, and Tom Pagnozzi. But Finest is a decent, good product these days, but back in 95, this was it. You didn't get a whole lot more upscale than this. So there's our Power Kings. Jim Abbott. This one's got a big crunch on it too, this Jim Abbott. You'll see when you get it, Don, in the mail. We've got Mickey Tettleton. There's a name I forgot until just now. Doesn't come up much. Who's that? Albert Bell for the Indians. Power Kings Albert Bell for the Indians. And the Indians are Jason S. This might not be a super duper exciting break. It's not a super expensive break either. So there's kind of a trade-off there. And there's still a good chance for something decent out of these. Let's see. Orlando Merced, Pat Hentgen, and Reggie Sanders. What I'm really looking forward to is we've got 2001 Leaf. I don't even remember the name of it now off the top of my head. I want to say premium. Anyway, has an autographed baseball cap in it and 15 packs of cards. Scott Leas, Aaron Bell, Roberto Kelly, Tony Gwynn. Upside down is Mike Henneman, Dante Bichette, Frank Thomas. Jack McDowell, Jeff King, Pedro Martinez, Darren Lewis, Chuck Knobloch, John Valentin. Darren Dalton. I couldn't remember his first name, and it's covered a little bit there. Lou Whitaker. Sean Dunston. Sorry for what I said earlier, Sean. Ozzie Smith. Alan Watson. Alex Cole. And Albert Bell. I like it when the pack opens easy. Makes life better for me, if even for just a second. Let's see. We have Mike Stanley, Jody Reed, Jim Abbott. Can't pronounce his name today. Joe Girardi, Danny Tartable, Dean Palmer. If you haven't subscribed before, please subscribe on YouTube. You'll know right away when I go live. And it just helps me out in general. And then also check out the website, card-warehouse.com. There's a bunch of breaks up there right now. If they don't move quickly, I might do a combo or something, but they should be okay. Tommy Green, Devon White, Rick Aguilera, John Jaha, Ruben Sierra, Andy Benez, Tim Wallach. When my voice goes up a pitch like that, it's because I've just recalled like a memory of collecting that card in the past and hadn't thought about that player in a long time or something. It's a nice little jaunt down memory lane for some of these names. Deion Sanders, Gary Sheffield, Devon White, Matt Walbeck, Will Cordero, Sandy Alomar. All right, we have 3 packs left. 3 left. I don't know if Rippin' Gypsy's on tonight. I believe so. Pretty sure. Should look at the schedule. I say that every time. I don't know if they're on tonight. I believe they have some stuff full and they're going on tonight. Or Gypsy is. Smash kind of off screen. Lance Johnson, And we have Steve Carsey, Kevin Seitzer, Rafael Palmeiro, Scott Lewis, and Bobby Witt. Two left. This one feels like it's going to have something fun in it. Doug Drabeck, Orlando Merced, Paul O'Neill, and in front of him, Mike Henneman, Kenny Rogers. These cards are really good looking. Wade Boggs, Rick Wilkins. One of the reasons I opened two, this is the last pack here. It's one of the reasons I opened 2 boxes for myself to get familiar with them instead of just one that I needed to. It's because I really like these cards. Todd Hundley, Bernie Williams, Bobby Ayala, Lance Johnson, Roberto Hernandez, Greg Vaughn, and Juan Guzman. So, let's recap. Here's what we got out of it. I don't believe I missed anything. We went through every card. Let me actually sort them out a little bit. This should all be base. Okay. All right, for our base, we did hit Griffey, McGuire, Ripken, 2 Johnsons, and a Mattingly. So we didn't get Bonds or Jeter, but we did pretty well on the base. For our refractors, we have Mark Whitten, Jody Reed, Brian Harvey, and Lenny Dykstra, which is probably the better out of all the refractors. That Lenny for the Phillies, I don't think I mentioned for the Phillies before. So that's for Jen. Yeah, the Tony Gwynn are kind of cool. There's a lot of those in here. Felt like, anyway. Okay, so we have Albert Bell and Cecil Fielder for respectively the Indians and the Tigers. Sorry about the glare. Those are Power Kings. Those are 1 in 12 packs, so it's basically a box hit, one per box. And then this is 3 per case is how these run. And that's John Wetland for the Expos, going to Chris E. And then on top of that, you have all this base. So that's what 2 boxes looks like. I have 2 more boxes here. Let me know if I should get drunk and open them myself. I'm just kidding. I'll list them. I'll put them up on the site. And if you guys liked these and you want another chance at hitting a Jeter or a Griffey Jr. or whatever, buy in. They'll be the same price. Price doesn't go up when they're sitting under my desk here. So I totally control that. That's it for tonight. I believe Ben is probably live right about now. Although I didn't get a notification. I would have gotten a notification if he was live. Maybe he wasn't going live till later. I don't know if any of you know if Ben's live yet, but I'll have to catch up later on his breaks and see what's going on. Yep, it looks like Ben's live. He went live half an hour ago. So go check out Ben's breaks. He's got, I wonder if he's going to do all 15. He's got like 15 breaks tonight. So God bless that man. I hope he lives through it. And we'll see you guys later. Make sure and check out the site. Get into some of those breaks. Let's break a bat and maybe pull maybe we can pull a Griffey bat instead of a card. All right. Thanks for watching.